In this very in-depth forecast, the eastern United States is currently experiencing a major winter storm with snow accumulations upwards of 4 inches being expected across Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, and Arkansas. Widespread ice accumulation is also expected across a lot of the southern states, including North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia. Everything you need to know on Project Gladiator. Hello everyone, Project Gladiator weather forecast. I know it's been a while, I'm sorry about that, but trying to get back in the swing of things, so I thought why not start off with a forecast on something that's a little bit more lighter, but still definitely pretty concerning. Sorry that I've been gone for so long, but anyways, we're gonna just see if we can get back in the swing of things. So, taking a look at our WPC heavy snowfall outlook, this is specifically for the possibility of snowfall greater than 4 inches for day 1. We will look at some other WPC winter outlooks that I never knew existed until yesterday. But for now, we do have a major area that you probably already noticed, with all this in red being upwards of a 70% chance for snowfall greater than 4 inches across a lot of western Tennessee to portions of western Kentucky, southern Illinois, and southeastern Missouri there, with all in green 40% or greater possibility of snowfall upwards of 4 inches, all in green. So mainly what we're looking at is a major area, a major hotspot that for the possibility of some very heavy snowfall, and this is going to be the primary risk for today. We don't have any risk for severe thunderstorms. We do have a TTS risk somewhere along the coast. I'm not entirely sure where, but we will look at that later. Definitely won't go too in depth on it though, because it's not really too much of a concern as of right now. And then we can also take a look at our snowfall. The possibility of snowfall greater than 8 inches. Thankfully, as of right now, we don't really have anywhere where we could see the possibility, at least that the WPC has outlined, of the possibility of snowfall greater or equal to 8 inches. So that's a plus. We can also take a look at the probability of ice greater than 0.5 inches, and thankfully we aren't going to see major ice accumulation. However, we will see a lot of ice accumulation mainly in this area, and we will take a look at that later. But if you're in this area, definitely make sure you're staying off the roads for today, as the roads will be very dangerous. Same with up here, where we are expected to see a insane amount of snowfall. Definitely not going to be insanely high. It's definitely not going to overperform like a similar winter storm that we had over a year ago. I think over a year ago, or right around the same time last year. It shouldn't overperform. Where the WPC was forecasting like just a chance of snowfall around 4 inches or less, and then in Tennessee we got like over 8 inches here. So it heavily overperformed. However, I just don't think that the weather's in our favor to overperform like it did last year. But we should definitely see the possibility, or not the possibility, we are expected to see a whole lot of heavy snowfall in this area. So definitely make sure you're staying off the roads. Taking a look at our WPC outlooks for flash flooding really fast, we do have a marginal risk for the Gulf Coast states there, for southern Alabama, portions of the Florida Panhandle, and southern Mississippi. However, this shouldn't really be too much of a big risk, but definitely make sure if you're in that area that you know what to do if flooding comes your way. But flooding should be pretty minor, just in some low-lying areas. Taking a look at our weather models, I'm just going to go ahead and skip over into our weather models. I'm not even going to look at the SPC because I could have sworn that there was a TSTM risk for today, but it was removed by the 4 p.m. update for EST, 4 p.m. EST update. It was on the 1630Z update, as you can see there. But we're going to start off with our 500 millibars like we typically do, and see what is backing these storms, or what is fueling these storms. What is the support for this winter storm? And we have a pretty nice trough here that is elongated back across the plains into Mexico here, and is positively tilted, but we have a really strong jet stream that is going to strengthen as it moves eastward into the southern United States, with 500 millibar flow upwards of 110 miles per hour, or sorry, 110 knots being possible across this region. Now, this would definitely support the possibility of some severe thunderstorms or some heavy rainfall if it was warm enough and we had the ingredients to support severe thunderstorms. However, all that lift isn't just going to go to waste. It's going to be used for something. But instead of all that lift being used to support the possibility of rain showers and severe thunderstorms, that's all going to be used to support the possibility of some very heavy rain, or very heavy snowfall across this region. So this is what is fueling our storms. This is the engine for our major winter storm across this region. And as that trough continues to progress eastward, it is going to continue to strengthen, with wind speeds potentially getting upwards of 120 to 130 knots in that jet streak as it continues to progress eastward. However, we aren't really expected to see too much snowfall after it passes the Appalachian Mountains. However, this trough will support the possibility for some heavy snowfall that could exist into southern and central Virginia, and even into portions of the Maryland and Delaware Peninsula there. However, the longitude where the temperature is going to reach below freezing isn't really going to extend too far south at this point. It is going to be pushed back to the north as it warms up, and snow will really only be possible to the north of the North Carolina border. Taking a look at our 1 hour quantitative precipitation for the dominant precipitation type for a specific area, this is basically going to show our timing. We're basically going to go over the timing for when our snow and ice is going to reach a specific location. However, you know me, I'm not the best with time zones, so just bear with me here, and I'm gonna be using the UTC that is shown in the corner here. So feel free to translate that into your local time zone, which should be EST for the region that I'm covering, potentially into some areas that may be into Central Standard Time, but I'm not the best with time, so just feel free to convert it yourself. So as of right now, we are seeing quite a lot of heavy snowfall across a lot of the Tennessee region, and that is kind of right now. That is kind of happening right now. A lot of that snow is expected to move into more of the mid-Atlantic states, with a lot of the ice moving into northern Georgia and into portions of northern South Carolina and southern North Carolina, with some snowfall into western Virginia and western to central North Carolina by around 1 UTC on Saturday. And that is going to continue with snow moving more into the higher elevation areas of Tennessee and Kentucky and Virginia, with some heavy snowfall that is going to exist across northern North Carolina and southern Virginia there, with some snowfall that could extend all the way up into Pennsylvania and Maryland there, with ice stretching all the way from central and eastern North Carolina, northern South Carolina, and northern Georgia there by around 5 UTC. And then a lot of the snow is going to move out into the Atlantic Ocean, with some lingering rainfall around the coast that is going to exist around 13 to 12 UTC. We're going to look at our 24-hour snowfall mean, or our ensemble mean for our high resolution ensemble forecast model. Anywhere in the green here that you are seeing here, mainly along the Appalachian Mountains, including some portions of western Tennessee, even a small area just to the north of the Knoxville metro area, is indicated as upwards of 6 inches of snow for our mean total snowfall. We are not looking at our maximum snowfall out of our high resolution ensemble forecast models. We're looking at our mean, so we could see potentially more snowfall that could range upwards of 7 inches and maybe even 8 inches in some very isolated areas. And this is definitely going to impact your morning and afternoon commute pretty heavily. I do not suggest being on the roads really at all. Only go out if you absolutely have to. And just a normal shopping spree is not absolutely have to. Only go out if you're having an absolute emergency because the roads will be very dangerous. Anywhere in the deep blue will definitely have their afternoon and early morning commute heavily impacted by winter impacts, and you should definitely not go out. However, if you're in the 1 to 2 inch range, it is definitely safer to go out. However, the roads could still be slick, so I still don't recommend it. And I would only go out if you, again, absolutely have to. Taking a look at our 24-hour ensemble mean for ice accretion, we are expected to see a pretty big band of ice accumulation, with a lot of the thicker ice being mainly around North Carolina, northern South Carolina, and northern Georgia there, especially right around the Atlanta region. Either way, we are still expected to see ice that could stretch all the way from coastal southern Virginia and even into southern portions of the Delaware, Maryland Peninsula, all the way into the Arklatex region, with again a lot of the thicker ice being further to the east. If you live in this area, definitely do not be on the roads unless it is absolutely necessary, as the roads will be very dangerous. Do not risk your life for really much at all on the roads. Just don't go out on the roads. This is very dangerous. And by tomorrow, a lot of the ice further off towards the west, mainly back into Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi, and portions of northern western Alabama, will melt by tomorrow. However, we will still see quite a lot of thick ice for a lot of the mid-Atlantic states and back into northern Georgia and portions of northeastern Alabama and some higher elevation areas of western Virginia and eastern Tennessee. Now that I've told you the weather, please go down to the description and check out the Discord for Project Gladiator and check out the socials for Project Gladiator. If you have any questions, definitely make sure to leave a comment or join the Discord for Project Gladiator. God, it's been so long I forgot my outro. But if you live in any of the affected areas, make sure you're staying weather alert, and I hope to see you soon with another forecast.